I have a couple of YouTubers, that's obviously, you know, complaining about, how, I'm just gonna call him out. Fuck it. Oprah side, he's a good person. He's sometimes too emotional, you know, um, but he has to understand nobody gives two F's if the Lakers are not in it. They were the seventh seed for a reason. You know why they were the seventh seed? Let, let me start over. So there's a YouTuber called Oprah Side, you know what I'm saying? Highly popular, you know what I'm saying? Um, he was just, complaining about, the Lakers not being in the playoffs. Or well, not being in the playoffs, but he was just complaining on how they got beat. They just got beat by a better team. The Suns were clearly a better team than them. You know, AD didn't show up in either game. I mean, I can't remember a game. I can't remember a series that he showed up. Um, but I think the game that they won. I think the game that they won, he showed up. But other than that, he's just disappeared. The dude can't stay healthy if his life depended on it. You know, and that's something that the Lakers have to look forward to into the future. Like, do they really want to invest in AD, a broken, fragile player who's always getting hurt? No. LeBron James never gets hurt until now. So, what makes you think the Lakers are worthy of beating the Nuggets? So, if the Lakers would have lost to the Nuggets, you still would have been pissed too, right? They were a seventh seed for a reason, Clark. Okay? They were a seventh seed. And since we being real, since we calling a ace and a spade, coming from me, Walter, my government real name, I can't sit here and just let you ruin it for the other fan base. The Lakers were trash. It was trash during the regular season. There was trash during the playoffs. What more can you want? Like what more can you possibly fathom that the Lakers were not good? The Lakers were not good. They were the seventh seed for a reason. The NBA do not crown bad teams. Now, obviously, they were terrible number one seeds. You know, a few years ago, I think the Jazz was the number one seed a few years ago. They were trash. They were the worst number one seed. There's been a few bad number one seeds. But the Lakers were in this position for a reason. I can't make this up. And I won't make this up because it's true. They got beat by a better team. Now, obviously, there's always next year, right? You retool. Nobody wanted to shoot. Like the Lakers had a bunch of D1 players, except for LeBron and AD. Okay? LeBron James is not going to turn the clock and be the '07 Cavs again. That's obviously not going to happen. Like the Lakers still have a shot next year. Vegas is probably going to put their odds-on favorite for them to win the championship next year. If it isn't somebody on the East to dethrone them, or if it's not the Clippers. Like, look how many times the Clippers and Lakers were supposed to face. That's like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant never faced in the NBA Finals. Like last year, we got robbed of not seeing them face each other because obviously we all know what happened. The Clippers choked a 3-1 lead. If everybody want to say choke, okay. This year, the Lakers got eliminated. So I don't understand why people have to be so submissive, Like, just enjoy the playoffs. Like, it would be stupid enough for the NBA to give LeBron James another title. He doesn't deserve it. He really doesn't. Now, obviously, he could come back next year, be healthy, be stronger. You know what I'm saying? Just play better. He'll probably have a different supporting cast, whatever the front office does. But this year, it just wasn't it, you know? And people want to go back to the bubble. Look, the bubble was just a bubble, you know? It came out of nowhere, you know? We didn't expect it. Nobody expected it, you know? But since it got here, we had to follow protocols, you know? Just like everybody else. So the Lakers took advantage of the opportunity. This year, it was vastly different. You know, last year we didn't have the fans in the crowd. Now, I'm not saying that the fans were, you know, a distraction, but the fans kind of helped, you know? And that's what we didn't see last year. We didn't see the fans, you know? So, you know, and Damian Leonard got hurt when they was going up against the Trailblazers. Yeah, I remember he left. I think it was second quarter he left. So we didn't even get the full dose of Damian Leonard, you know? And then obviously, you know, the Nuggets, there was just no match. You know what I'm saying? We all thought it was going to go to 7 games. That didn't happen. So people just need to relax, chillax. You know, I'm not coming at Oprah side. You know what I'm saying? He's a great YouTuber of mine. But, you know, he just has to understand. Nobody wants to see the Lakers. They wasn't remotely good. Now, if they were great, like you say they were, the Suns, it would have been the Suns in the playing tournament and not the Lakers. Think about that. If their roles were reversed, if the Lakers were the 2nd seed and the Suns were the 7th seed, guess who would have been trying to fight in? So it would have probably been the Warriors versus the Lakers, right? Seemingly if the Warriors beat the Suns, you know what I'm saying? So it would have been the 2 seed versus 7 seed, Lakers 2 seed, Warriors 7 seed. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get to see that. You know, I mean, that was my dream, not dream, but that was my favorite matchup going into the bubble. I mean, going into the playoffs, playing tournament, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So the Lakers wind up beating the Warriors. So we still got to see that, even though everybody on the Warriors wasn't at full strength. No Klay Thompson, no Wiseman. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the Warriors just had to roll with what they got. So hopefully Klay Thompson could come back healthy and stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see where the chips fall. But as in terms of the Lakers not being in the bubble or not being in the playoffs, they deserve it. They deserve the ass whooping. It's a wake-up call ass whooping, to be honest with you, because they needed that. The Lakers were not remotely good. And don't tell me that, oh, if the Lakers would have beaten the Suns, they would have beaten the Nuggets. No, they wouldn't. Even without Murray, I think the Nuggets still would have gave the Lakers a run for the money. A run for their money. Now, do I think the Nuggets would have beaten them? Pretty sure they would. Without AD, this team is a bunch of D1 players. Come on. Now the Lakers is going to have to blow up this whole entire roster from top to bottom, figure out who stays, who goes. You know what I'm saying? It's just headaches, you know? So the Lakers did us all a favor and got eliminated. They did not deserve to be in the playoffs at all. At all. They was not remote. And if Lakers fans think that this team was great, they're kidding themselves, because they really wasn't. And the Suns exposed them. That's what they did. The Suns didn't just beat them, they exposed them. Devin Booker, Aiden, Chris Paul, they all went off, you know? So it is what it is. So like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. It's always next year, you know? It's always next year. And plus, LeBron James wants to play with his son, so he might probably play another 4 years. Or another 3 years. I won't say 4. He'll probably play another 3 years, you know? So, you know, it is what it is, you know? So like, comment, subscribe. There's only been a few son and dad and son duo in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.